I want to apologize for the delay in releasing this video. There have been so many unexpected issues that prevented me from finishing until now. I will attempt to be as brief as I can while presenting you with clear information. The following recording was made a few months before Daniel Torrence and Heather Chesnut conspired to put me in jail. I started the recording halfway through the conversation as Torrence was pressuring me to plead guilty so that we wouldn't have to go to trial. Okay, so again, this is a huge decision. If you could possibly send me cases where I could have a better
Luis, I'm not going to send you cases. That's not my job. Okay, I'm not a law clerk working for you. I'm the attorney. My job is not to send you case law. That's not my job.
I just want to be better informed before I make this decision.
Well, you're not going to get better informed by me sending you case law.
How is that?
Because I'm refusing to do that. That's not my job. My job is to advise you, not to send you case law so you can try to make a legal decision and play lawyer. I'm not going to go sort through them all just to satisfy you and send you hundreds or thousands of pages of paper.
No, I'm just saying, if you have any that you know off of the top of your head that I can research so I can make a better decision.
No, Luis, no. I'm not going to do that. My job is not to have to provide legal documentation to you. I'm the attorney. You're not.
I want to go through the appeal. That is something I want to do. So yes,
well,
I will.
I think you're being very foolish. So the appeal means going to trial and being convicted of the felony.
Yes, I know that. I understand that. What is a problem with you with going to trial and appealing?
It's not a problem. I don't have to do the appeal. But it's a waste of time.
For those who have not seen part 1, here's a summary, but I highly suggest that you see the full video.
Let's go and get a warrant. Is it time? 8:45. 4 minutes. 8:45.
Notice how he looks in the direction of the prosecutor. Again, watch the full video to get full context of what is happening.
Good morning, Your Honor. Oh, you're ready? Good. Thank you. That's all I'm ready on for now. Thanks.
Sanchez.
And, Your Honor, Mr. Torrence is here today. We're ready on Mr. Sanchez.
Excuse me.
He's not present, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set a bench warrant, $15,000 cash, commence bond forfeiture.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have this morning. If I could be excused.
We're going to take him into custody.
Mr. Sanchez is standing in the...
And we're going to execute the warrant. So we'll see if he comes in here, calls his case. Joe's probably calling his attorney frantically out there. Because he wants it executed. He's not going to come save him, I'll bet you. So we're going to execute the warrant. but he's out there, probably waiting on his attorney or something. I just want to make sure we see you before you go back. Your case was already called this morning. We just saw you arrive about 10 minutes ago, which would have been a quarter to 11.
I've been here since 9:08. Could I just know what time the warrant was issued? What time did my attorney leave?
That you can ask your attorney about that, but we didn't issue it until after 9, and you're here way after that.
After being released from jail, I confronted Torrence for calling my case early, and this is what he had to say.
I'm sorry, why what?
Why was a warrant called for my arrest?
Because you weren't here when we called the case.
I wasn't supposed to be here at 8:45.
It was after that. Come on, let's go see the judge.
I have proof here.
Okay, fine. You can tell the judge.
In order to understand Torrence's actions, we need to understand how Salt Lake Legal Defender Association operates and who runs that organization. This is Richard MAURO, the Executive Director of Salt Lake Legal Defender Association, SLDA. Since February of 2016, I had been trying to speak with the director to let him know of all the problems I was having with Heather Chesnut, who was my first attorney on the case. There were significant issues with her performance that were affecting me. She would seek irrelevant or incorrect evidence, she would not communicate with me for periods of time, and she refused to file any necessary suppression motions on my behalf. The director never contacted me to address these problems. I was just assigned a different attorney, Daniel Torrence, although Chesnut continued to be involved in my case. I want you to know a little bit more about Richard MAURO and what he purports to represent. There are a few news articles of him, and I thought they were very interesting given the circumstances of this case. In June of 2020, Richard MAURO led a group of public defenders who knelt in the rain for nearly 9 minutes in memory of George Floyd and to protest racial injustices within the judicial system. MAURO led the group of lawyers in a series of chants proclaiming a deep desire to evoke change in the criminal justice system. In the protest, MAURO had stated, "We are on the front lines of discrimination in the court system, fighting for our clients whose voice is oftentimes not heard." In another article by KUTV, MAURO stated how some people who can't afford bail are stuck in jail and are pressured into pleading guilty just so they can get out of jail sooner. This is the same reason his attorneys conspired to put me in jail. So I would feel pressured into pleading guilty so they would not have to go to trial defending my case. When I spoke to Torrence and Chesnut while in jail, I asked them why there had been a warrant called for my arrest when I had been present. Torrence responded, "Because you haven't pled guilty, Luis, that's why." Their reasons for what they did were very clear. Now, I want you to see how Richard MAURO responded to their actions. The following are questions I submitted and the responses from Salt Lake Legal Defender Association as part of the discovery process in the lawsuit against Chesnut, Torrence, and SLDA. These people had many opportunities to make things right, but they didn't. Instead, they hired this law firm to try to discredit me and to try to bury the video evidence that I had legally acquired through a records request. They, along with Judge Keith Kelly, denied me more time to find a new attorney after my previous lawyer withdrew because I refused to settle at the very beginning of the case before any discovery had taken place.
If I get granted more time, I would ask the court to dismiss it without prejudice, but refile it when I obtain counsel. So the plaintiff is suggesting that this matter be moved, dismissed without prejudice. Where are you at on that, Mr. Skolman?
Strongly oppose it, Your Honor. At this stage, we put a lot of time and effort into defending, and we don't want to have to sit around and wait for the plaintiff to decide to hire new counsel or file a new pro se complaint and pursue this again. We want to address it now while we're in the case, and it should either be dismissed with prejudice or the case should proceed.
I'm going to give you, Mr. Sanchez, through May 20th to file your opposition to the motion for summary judgment. So I'll give you 3 weeks. I'll direct you, Mr. Skolnick, to prepare that order that if the plaintiff does not respond, he's got a deadline of May 20th to respond to the motion for summary judgment. If he fails to respond by that deadline, either by filing his own opposition or filing through cancel, then the defendant may submit a request to submit for decision. It will be anticipated that the motion for partial summary judgment will be granted. And he will have until May 27th to respond. That will give him 28 days. So I'm giving you the time period under the rules of civil procedure from today to respond to that discovery. And I want the order, Mr. Skolnick, to reflect that if there is a failure to respond by the 27th of May, then if that order is not complied with, that could be a basis for striking Mr. Sanchez's pleadings and dismissing the case that he has filed.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Your Honor. Would that basis include dismissal with prejudice if the court deems appropriate?
Right. Okay, any other questions, Mr. Skolnick?
Yes, Your Honor. I have one final matter regarding to the court's attention. It appears to us that Mr. Sanchez's use of that video is improper and it's not permitted under the court's administrative rules for him to use it and disseminate it publicly, and he should be enjoined for doing that. Again, Your Honor, this video, and I think Mr. Sanchez will confirm it, is an edited version of an official court record. That is the court video record of one of the criminal proceedings in the case, the one which he criticizes.
So what are you asking? What do you think? What are you suggesting that I do?
I'm suggesting that sorry, Your Honor, to interrupt. I'm suggesting that now that this has been clearly brought to the court's attention, that the court instruct Mr. Sanchez that under applicable court administrative rules, he may not disseminate, at least any further, this video. That is the court record, or an edited version of the court record for his criminal case. That is against court administrative procedures and rules.
Go ahead. My understanding, go ahead, Mr. Sanchez.
That is public record. Even if I don't disseminate it, anybody else is free to do a records request.
What exactly does the recording consist of?
The conversation my attorneys with themselves, the conversation with the judge and the attorneys, the prosecutor, the court proceedings, and commentary.
Okay, so you guys had a records request. So how long is the resulting video?
It's about 15 minutes or 12 minutes, I believe.
12 to 15 minutes, okay.
And I will be reporting my case, nobody else. Not even names, nothing.
The courts are public proceeding, part of public record, but there is also the issue of whether, for example, a classic example of something that would not be permitted is for a juror, the image of a juror to be published. So, what I'm trying to do is go ahead and enter a temporary order. The defendant, Mr. Sanchez, or that person's acting active concert or participation of him or on his behalf, ordered not to disseminate any video or audio recordings related to this case. And I'm going to give you till 5 p.m. tomorrow to take all of those down for being online.
I had to file motions. I had to fight for my right to freedom of press and freedom of speech. When Judge Keith Kelly unlawfully ordered me to remove the video from the internet, he was protecting someone, and it was not the public nor our constitutional rights. He believed that because I was not being represented by an attorney, that I would just submit to his orders, which were not grounded in law, and that the video would end up being buried and forgotten.
A plaintiff in a case like this needs to come forward with evidence showing the basis for a claim of a conspiracy. And as in the Abercrombie case, I conclude that there was no genuine issue of material facts concerning the existence of conspiracy. Because of the lack of evidence of a conspiracy between these two public defenders on the one hand and the prosecutor or the judge on the other hand, I conclude that there is not a basis for allowing a Section 1983 claim based upon a conspiracy. Therefore, I conclude that the Section 1983 claim should be dismissed with prejudice.
This was another controversial yet expected decision of Judge Keith Kelly, which clarified his stance in this case. These individuals refused to accept any responsibility for what they did. I had to litigate the lawsuit while I was not being represented since they denied me more time to find an attorney. All the strict court deadlines, legal research, and legal documents I had to file were extremely taxing on me. There were many weeks where I had to miss work just to keep up with the lawsuits. By continuing to deny any responsibility, they added an even greater burden on me and my family as I was trying to seek some type of justice within the courts. But I was abruptly awoke into reality. I saw how much deeper corruption runs within the system. All these court deadlines started to compound as my family and I were struggling through the recent diagnosis of cancer of the mother of my older children. In May of this year, she had been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. This completely changed things in a way that we had never experienced before. I did not want to disclose this to the public, something so personal. But I decided to, so these individuals and others who victimize people may understand that what they do can carry heavy consequences in people's lives, greater than they can perceive. They have no idea what hardships people are already going through. Since the diagnosis, I wanted to fully focus on my family, but I had the responsibility to go as far as I could in attempting to seek accountability. not just for what they did to me, but mainly to prevent other similar violations on others. And I did. I went as far as I was able to. But in early November, I settled the lawsuits. I settled before I was able to depose the judge and the prosecutor, two state actors that need to be held accountable. None of this would have happened if Prosecutor Nathaniel Swift wouldn't have asked for an arrest warrant, and if Judge Catherine Bernard Goodman wouldn't have ordered it before I was scheduled to be in court. Being faced with the health complication of my family member and knowing how Judge Keith Kelly had been favoring SLDA, Chesnut, and Torrence, I knew I could not expect much justice from the lawsuits, so I settled. But this does not mean that it's the end, not even close. This year I filed a second complaint against Daniel Torrence, Heather Chesnut, Nathaniel Swift, and retired Judge Catherine Bernard Goodman. We will see how the Utah Bar decides, as well as the Judicial Conduct Commission. I will keep you updated, but this time they are paying attention. I have also contacted the Utah Attorney General. These are the email communications. It has been over 3 months since our last email, and I still have not received any phone call or other communication from them. I believe they are protecting Heather Chesnut, as she now works for the Attorney General's office as a civil rights attorney. I ask you to contact the AG's office and pressure the Utah Attorney General to criminally investigate all those involved who participated in the court corruption. Keep records of all the emails and phone communications to the AG's office and send them to me via email. I will compile all the records and I will publish them in part 3 of the video series. If Sean Reyes does not investigate, we will pressure him to resign. We will start a petition to have him removed from office. I know we can do this. I know we can. There is so much more we can still accomplish outside of the lawsuits. Now, I want to explain what started all this, how I ended up in court, and what I was accused of. It all started with this police officer, Officer Jared Cardon of the Unified Police Department. In December of 2014, he was dispatched near a residence where I and many other people had been at a small party. He was dispatched for an alleged fight that occurred on the streets. When he arrived, he intended to indiscriminately stop every car that he saw near the residence. I was in one of those cars that he intended to stop. Officer Cardon claims in his report that he stopped me and that I drove away as we made eye contact while he slammed the hood of my car to signal me to stop. He then claims that once I was stopped at a roadblock, that I resisted arrest and that I was belligerent and drunk. This was all a lie. I know many people will find this very hard to believe, and I understand. From day one in court, I had requested to have the dashcam videos of the arrest, but Officer Cardon stated that his dashcam did record the incident, but that the system that saved the videos to their database had been malfunctioning. I also requested to have the video recordings from the police station, which would prove I did not fail the field sobriety tests. The video recordings from the police station were also deleted and never provided to me. This was a violation of due process. If you have a hard time believing how unlawful and corrupt this police agency operates, the following video will help you clarify some doubts, or at least I hope so. The idea of posting this was uncomfortable because I am intoxicated in this recording and it's not a position I ever wished for people to see me in, but I know it's necessary and I'm okay with it now. The recording starts with the officer asking who the person in my backseat was. You will see how the officer never asks for driver's license, insurance, nor registration of the driver. He directly seeks me.
Good evening.
Hi.
Was with your buddy in the back seat over here.
Oh, I'm taking him home. He asked me for a ride.
Is he drunk or just tired?
He was just tired.
Just tired?
Yeah.
Who's the owner of the vehicle?
It's me.
This gentleman. Do you have your ID on you, sir?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it real quick?
I'm not driving.
Do you have any warrants out for your arrest, Mr. Sanchez?
I don't.
That's why I'm stopping the vehicle. There was warrants associated with the Mr. Louis Sanchez that had an address out of West Valley.
So what's your name?
Officer Hebert. Do you have any warrants, man? Just be honest with me.
I don't.
Can I just see your ID and I can clear it up then? I'll get you out of here.
No, I
Dude, if you have warrants, just be honest with me.
don't have any warrants.
Then if I can, let me see your ID real quick and I'll get you guys out of here, okay?
Research my last name.
What's that?
Sanchez. Research my last name.
I will. Can I get your date of birth then?
Okay, no, you can't.
Mr. Sanchez, I just need to verify if it's you or not. Is this your girlfriend driving?
No, I'm just a friend.
Just helping? Okay. Mr. Sanchez, I just need some information from you, man.
I don't.
The only reason why you're giving me a hard time is
Do you have a fucking
body camera?
Yes.
I sure do.
What department are you from?
Unified.
Unified. You sued
know.
you before.
It's okay.
On December 10th of 2014, I had previously filed a lawsuit against the Unified Police Department for an incident that occurred in 2013 when police assaulted me while I was a passenger in a friend's car.
You haven't seen me before, man.
I have sued you before.
No. So there's warrants associated with the Louis Sanchez that has the same address as the registered owner of this vehicle.
This
Okay,
motherfucker.
so can you handle it?
No.
I don't want to
So?
drive and have anything.
Don't let her get.
I have
involved in
sued you
that.
before.
I don't want to get
Research
in trouble.
my name.
Okay, but he's
Sanchez.
saying that if you give it to him, I won't get in trouble. So if you
Yeah,
handle
code 96.
it,
Can I get it
please,
back?
I don't want to get in trouble. Please. Hand him your ID. So if he gives you his ID, I
Yeah,
will.
if it's you're fine. I'm not worried
Please.
about it.
I
Do you
don't-
have anything that I need to know about with you?
Okay, what?
Okay.
I was just driving.
Here's my
I
ID.
appreciate that.
What's your fucking name?
So if he gives you this, there will be nothing like caused within. I just wanted to go home.
You don't want to get in trouble for anything?
I was
No,
driving us home right now.
you're fine. And I appreciate you driving him home. Like I said, I'm just over here for Mr. Sanchez. Give me just a sec, guys. I'll be right back with you, okay?
Comprehend, because I don't have my ID on my license. So if he lets us go, like I'm gonna be very thankful because I'm driving.
I recorded this in April of this year, and no, this is not the mother of my children, and this was recorded before the diagnosis. The officer involved in this video is from the same police agency and precinct as Officer Jared Cardon, who charged me with the DUI and lied about the arrest. 2 months later, I filed a complaint against the police officer, and this is what his superior had to say.
All right. We had a discussion with Officer Hebert. I've had a chance to look at the body cam footage, and we had a pretty robust and productive discussion to where we were able to. I really don't think there was any malice on his part. Do you feel otherwise?
To violate somebody's constitutional, federally protected rights, malice should be considered, but I don't think that's the underlying issue here.
Okay.
How long has he been with this department or under your supervision?
I don't know exactly. It's been just guessing a year and a half, maybe, give or take a few months.
How long has he been a police officer?
I couldn't speak for certain to that. I know he worked for another police agency before here.
Okay, so
But I don't know exactly how long that was.
So for him to not have the most basic understanding of the lawfulness of a stop, of a detention, that is extremely concerning.
What are you hoping to accomplish? What do you want to have done?
Accountability. I want him to be investigated. If he did this to me, I'm pretty sure he has done it to other people, especially if he explained to you his reasoning behind it, which was illegal, unlawful.
Okay, it hasn't been investigated, and I'm not willing to go that far that it was unlawful. And my question to you is, what did you want to have occur? And you said an investigation. I'm telling you, I've completed the investigation. I've had a conversation with Officer Hebert, and we discussed measures that would probably be more effective in him doing his job like that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not convinced that he violated your constitutional rights. What is it you would like to see?
Discipline.
Because I'm telling you, his conversation with me and his explanation to me was very reasonable.
With all due respect, I think it's not reasonable what he did to me.
I can tell you it's been investigated, it's been completed, and I'm not at liberty to discuss the outcome of investigations.
Then what you're telling me is nothing's going to happen then? In part 3, I will go more in depth regarding the Unified Police Department. I will offer more evidence of their corruption, and I will also give an update on what has been going on with the AG's office and the other complaints I have pending, and a lot more.
So I have a person you can call. He is over the sheriff's office. His name is Christian Luke.
Christian Luke? Okay.
And his number is 385-468-9890.
Okay, thank you so much for your help. I'll give him a call.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello?
Sorry,
Hello?
Yes, could I speak with Christian Luke?
Who?
Christian?
You have the wrong number.
Okay, thank you.
Christian, you have the wrong number. Bye.
Bye. $385-468-9890. Huh. Okay, let's check what she said.
Office of the Sheriff.
Hi, I don't know if I spoke with you just like 2 minutes ago, and you gave me a phone number for Luke.
He is out of, he might have his, I don't know if he's in the office. Are you a deputy or are you applying for a position? Is there something I can help you with?
I want to do a records request regarding a deputy. I just need his email address.
Oh, so you want to come, are you another agency or?
No. This is in regards to a civil deposition that I need to send to the deputy. I want to know his availability for the deposition before a subpoena is sent.
Voicemail.
Okay. I was given a phone number, 385-468-9890 to...
Okay, yeah, that's his office number. He's not in the office right now, so you can leave him a voicemail, but there's nothing else I can do for you. He's not in right now.
Christian Luke, okay. Well, I just called that. Could you just verify that number for me, please? I just called it, and this woman answered, and she told me that I had the wrong number.
385-468-9890.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, well, I can transfer you there, but that's about all I can do for you.
Okay, please. Okay, bye. Oh, and thank you, by the way.
Hello?
Yes, I was just transferred to this number by the Salt Lake Sheriff's Office. May I speak with Christian Luke?
You still have the wrong number. Sorry. Bye.
Bye. I just need to know whose number they're transferring me to. There.
Hello?
Hi, sorry to disturb you again. I just wanted to know who I was transferred to by the sheriff's office.
You got the wrong number again.
But yes, who are you? I'm sorry. Hello? Hello?